Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Kidnapped sisters are ordeal in 19-day captivity. Jimon mobilizes Ondo for APC. NSA Ribadu leads Ibadan blast probe. And I have a message from inside the papers. Editors Guild hails ruling on NBC code. All right, which story are we taking in the nation?
Sadly, should I say excitedly, the release. Oh, thankfully, the release of a lot of hostages that were kidnapped over the weekend, but the sisters were amongst those released as well. And the police say that, they were released by the police effort, but the sisters say that after ransom was paid. One of them said even after ransom was paid, they were even not going to release them. Sadly, they lost the eldest one. Oh. Yes, they killed one of them and dumped her body by the road. And so she was tweeting her ordeal and said, she was like, God, if actually we leave this place today, I would never doubt how great and amazing you are. I don't think anyone understands how I feel right now. And she says, Allah responded and said, I am listening, my answers, and answers my prayers. And, they were brought home. Videos were all over the internet circulating on how the girls were reunited and with their mom, and a lot of the efforts of the Nigerian police on, continuing rescue. Right now, Abuja is under serious security and, releasing kidnap victims, arresting kidnappers, and parading some. Yes, some people are saying no, they are not kidnappers and trying to accuse the federal government of, their release. Right. They came home on Friday and we're grateful to God for that.
Still talking about security, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has he has gone into the investigation into last week's blast. So this is follow-up on the Ibadan blast. And the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, will be visiting Ibadan today, as well as the Minister for Solid Mineral Development, Dele Alake. Dele Alake, of course, is from Oyo State. Justice Ariwola also hails from Oyo State, and they were all commenting on what happened. The Minister for Solid Minerals, because there is the story that first came out, linked these to solid mineral related. He said that the federal government will be giving an official result after the forensic investigation comes out, that there's an ongoing forensic investigation. The Chief Justice of Nigeria visited the site and said that he was shocked at what he saw. Of course, the president, they were reiterating in the report here that the president had sent a message to the governor immediately it happened, in the presence of the Minister for Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, and commiserated with Governor Seyi Makinde as well as the victims. The governor is saying that 90% as an update, 90% of the injured victims have been discharged. He said that there would also be an integrity test on 230 buildings around the scene of the explosion. The governor also said that the death toll remains at 5 and that security agencies are investigating the immediate and remote cause of the explosion. So I think a lot of people just giving people updates on the fact that work is going on, investigation is going on, and people will get information as soon as the results are out.
Okay, I have the National Universities Commission has blamed the proliferation of illegal degree awarding institutions on some parents. So the commission says that Commission said the parents place a premium on university certification over other considerations, and he said, and that's the reason why they fall victims to these sort of people. NUC stressed that unaccredited degree awarding institutions and satellite campuses remain banned in the country. So they said in the year 2000, NUC had undertaken a resource assessment of all outreach centers and came up with the state of affairs of satellite campuses, and that was why they were able to ban it at that time. And he's saying that it's still banned. Then he's asking parents to make sure that they do thoroughly scrutinize institutions before they send their awards to acquire certificates there. Says everybody is right to pursue university education, but how do you go about it is the crux of the matter. They agree that the challenge of access, the huge gap between supply and demand, makes parents desperate about getting university education for their children. This makes them vulnerable to greedy and fraudulent persons with commercial undertone. A committee has been established on the closure of illegal universities. They have been mandated to identify, locate, and prosecute those perpetrating illegalities, and also do this in a multi-task stakeholders collaboration involving security agencies. So it's a response and an update to the fake results and certifications we had been dealing with late last year and early this year.
All right, so the Nigerian Guild of Editors, NGE, has hailed the ruling of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which declared null and void some provisions of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code. The code allows the Commission to impose fines on broadcast stations for alleged breaches. If you recall, NBC had imposed a 5 million naira fine on 3 stations, MultiChoice Nigeria, owners of DSTV, Telkom Satellite Limited, Trust TV, and NTA Star Times for broadcasting documentary about the state of banditry and security in Zamfara State, saying the regulator's action was wrong and unjustifiable in a democratic society. And NGE agrees with them, saying the court is right in his ruling by saying that the NBC had arrogated judiciary power to itself by imposing a fine arbitrarily without cause to the law. Moving on now to the Punch. Kidnapping epidemic, banks enabling rapid growth of abduction industry, says experts. Picture story here, goods destroyed as fire guts 10-story Lagos market building. NSCDC foiled 48 bandit attacks on schools, says Commander General. Benin-Ore Expressway, kidnappers freed my father after 3 million naira ransom, says son. Forensic probe of Ibadan blast to determine next action, says federal government. Dangote refinery plans supply to 150,000 Ipman stations. Foreign medical school bills gulped $1.58 billion in 6 months, says CBN. Tinubu panel asks states to suspend low revenue taxes. Okay, which story?
Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Dr. Ahmed Audu, says that the agency has averted over 48 attack attempts on schools nationwide by bandits. As we all know, the story of bandits attacking schools and things over the years, and he said that because NSDC has revamped its strategies to be able to avert these bandits, and so we're going to see more of these aversions going forward. He says that what they're doing now is more kinetic, non-kinetic approaches, and that this would help, they are focusing on the background issues that cause this sort of conflict, that cause people to go into schools and do the kidnapping, and that the approach involves cautioning Nigerians, interacting, engaging with community leaders, its members, school children, and their teachers, so that they'll be aware as well as be able to identify suspicious movements. They said they'll enable them to know to call the attention of government as well, to provide timely information so that together they will nip this in the bud. So this is the approach that they are focusing mostly on, and this has helped them to avert as many as 48 attacks so far, and they think we will see more and more of these successes going forward because of these new strategies and approach that they have adopted.
Any other story in Punch?
I have the Mandilas building, so...
Oh, sorry, let me take a break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.